What's up, guys? How we doing? I just uploaded a video complaining about my week, but I wanted to make a video doing another movie review. I just watched X for the first time, and I thought I would do all three of them in one video, but I seem to be long-winded as fuck whenever I talk about stuff, so I'm just gonna review one movie at a time. I actually was pretty impressed with X. So I know I'm very late to the party. And with Pearl and Maxine coming out, obviously that lets you know how X is going to end. So there is a problem there. But I really enjoyed it. It was a really good movie. Let's get into it. So, it's basically set in the 70s and it's about these porn stars, or I guess wannabe porn stars, that are trying to make it big in Hollywood, and they are on the road and they're told by this elderly couple that they can use their barn, basically, their guest house, and stay there. And the guy only mentions himself, but he brings all the other people and pays the guy extra. And so they're going to shoot their porn movie at this place. And the two older people just happen to be the creepiest looking people in the fucking world. And so the first half of it's porn and the second half of it is murder, and you get to see Brittany Snow's tits, which I'm gonna add a point for that. I've had a crush on that woman ever since John Tucker Must Die, and to see her go from that innocent fucking nice girl in John Tucker Must Die to acting like this, yeah. But besides the sexual content, I love the way it was filmed. It's a very well directed movie. The commentary and the subject matter, they do a very good job exploring, right? The way porn impacts the world, the way people in porn view themselves, sex, polygamy, relationships, these ideals, and being deviant and going away from the Lord. Like, it's got something to say. It's a film that's got something to say. I happen to have a strong opinion when it comes to porn. I think porn shouldn't exist. Now, it always will. It's a billion-dollar industry, multi-billion-dollar industry. It ain't going anywhere. But porn literally helps fuck up society. Prove me wrong. It exists for no reason other than to dehumanize women. That's it. That's why porn exists, is to dehumanize women. That is literally it. And the women that do it then think they're the shit because guys pay to watch them get fucked. And to think that you're the shit and value yourself based on the fact that you're sexually desirable, I would say, is the opposite direction you would want to go in as a woman, correct? So if that's how you're measuring yourself as a woman, how do you ever get away from being objectified or just being a sex symbol? And there's a scene in here where they're talking about polygamy because Mia Goth's character is dating the producer, who's like a fucking Matthew McConaughey knockoff. The way he talks and the way he acts is so Matthew McConaughey-ish. And so she just got fucked on camera by the black guy, and Jenna Ortega asked the dude, like, how are you okay with that? Like, her getting fucked on camera. And then they have a conversation about, well, you can't control who you love, but you can control who you screw. And look, I don't mean to shit on polygamy couples, but I've never seen one last. I don't believe you can truly love somebody and fuck somebody else. I don't think you can. I don't think it's physically possible. I have never seen a polygamous relationship work out ever in my life because it is what it is. You're in love with the person, but you're not sexually satisfied by them. So you're getting your sexual desires out over here while being loved by the person over here. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to last. And no, I do not believe if you are capable of fucking another person, I do not believe you love that person. I have watched a lot of fucking people be in polygamous relationships, and guess what? They don't ever work out. They always end up the same, and it's not my business. If you want to be in a polygamous relationship, fine, but don't act like it's normal and that it's love. Because no, I don't believe you can love somebody and fuck another person. I don't think you can physically do that. Anyway, so they explore that concept a little bit and talk about it, and I don't know, the subtle, I like the soundtrack, the subtle hues, the subtle hums. It's shot, and just the dialogue and the story is told in a way that's very believable, like, and the way they get stuck on this farm and hunted is very believable. The story is set up well. There's not a lot of horror trope cliches. Like, it's unique. It doesn't have any, like, unlikable cliche characters. And as these young people are having sex and filming themselves, making this porn, the older couple is... It's mirroring being young and capable and desirable and being old and not being desirable anymore. And the older woman wants to be looked at and felt special by her husband, but she's not anymore because A, her husband is old as fucking like 120 years old, probably couldn't get it up and has a bad heart, and B, she's 100 and something years old. So, like, it's very sad, and they do a very good job at pulling at your heartstrings for the older lady and the older couple, and like what they're trying to say there with being young and being desirable, and how you need to enjoy that while you're young, because when you get older, I love the commentary. And then we get our first murder scene, so Jenna Ortega's character is the boom girl, which would be the funniest job to have, to be the boom guy on a porn, just there with the fucking, I'm sorry, I know that that's an actual position, and that would just be a funny fucking role to have. Get the sounding, got it, yep. And so Jenna Ortega has a boyfriend who is the director, the guy behind the camera, and who I'm pretty sure is from the Evil Dead remake. Pretty sure. If not, they look pretty damn similar. And she decides she wants to be in the film, and the guy's against it. And they have a big argument about it and shit. And he doesn't want his girl, after literally just having a conversation about why it's okay to fuck somebody on camera, it's just business, but I love this guy and it's okay. The director then doesn't want Jenna Ortega to have sex because she's a good girl, and then she's told by the Matthew McConaughey knockoff, I hate to be the one to tell you this, bud, but none of them are good girls. And that's a line that might have pissed off a few women, but it hit hard, especially with some of the shit I've dealt with. And then basically the director has to watch his girlfriend get fucked by this big old black dick and direct it, and is getting cucked, and I felt so bad for him. And Yeah, how are you gonna follow that up? How are you gonna follow that up, man? And he breaks down in the shower and cries, and then decides he's gonna leave, and then finally we get to our first kill scene, which is actually really brutal. Up until the first kill scene, I loved this movie. I thought I was gonna end up giving it a 9 out of 10. Because that first kill scene was gory as fuck. I love how it was done. I love how it was shot. I love that Don't Fear the Reapers playing. I like just everything about it. The build up to that point, the lady wanting to feel wanted again, and you know it's coming because she never shows her left hand. You know he's about to get stabbed, and but then she just keeps fucking going, and it's really brutal. It's really grotesque, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be, like, that graphic. So, if all the kills are going to be like this is going to be, like, a 9 out of 10 movie for me, because it's been well written, it's well acted, well dialogued. Like, everything was hitting right. The concepts. After the first kill, the movie started going downhill for me. I did not like the second half very much. Which sucks to say, because it is a good movie. It's definitely better than a lot of shit that we've gotten lately. It's better than anything fucking Blumhouse has ever put out, and it is my favorite A24 film to date. So far. I really want to see Heretic, but so far, yes. I do believe this is the best A24 film I have seen. But the second half, so, you know, RJ gets killed, and that's kind of when everything starts falling apart. The pacing of this movie was a little off. Like, it took a while to get going, but I actually enjoyed the story it was telling. Not just because you're seeing tits, but I think they were doing a good job at setting it up. And then it just starts happening. We get into the chaos, and we don't stop for a beat until the end. So I don't know, the pacing was a little weird. Like, we went from now this guy's killed, now, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you got 45 minutes of nothing, and then everything, all hell breaks loose, basically. And I wish they would have taken their time to flesh out some of these kills, because after that first kill, the rest of them are disappointing. Like, so you got, Jenna Ortega's character realizes that RJ's missing, and she literally says, I hope I didn't hurt him. God, if that doesn't sum up women. I made this guy watch me get fucked by a big old black dick and film it, but I hope I didn't hurt his feelings. Yeah, you obviously hurt his fucking feelings. Like, anyway, so they go out looking for him, and Matthew McConaughey wannabe steps on a fucking rusty nail because he's in this, like, Speedo thing out looking for him, steps on a fucking nail, and then the rest of the kills you see from a mile away. Like, so he sees something move behind the barn door, and there's like 3 holes. Any normal person would open the door. Oh, is that you, RJ? But instead, he decides to get down and look through the holes. What do you think's gonna happen? Pitchfork in the eye. Obviously. And that's the problem I start to have. Cody Leach, as much as I like that guy as a movie reviewer, I could not disagree with him more on how you don't see the kills coming. Obviously, you know that guy's going to get stabbed in the eye. And so we got a gator in the pond that Mia Goth was swimming in earlier. And then the next kill is Brittany Snow's character finding the old lady after she murders RJ and shit, because now the husband is out looking for them with the black guy, and so Matthew McConaughey's dead, and fucking RJ's dead, and Jenna Ortega got locked in a cellar by the old man. So now you know that both of the older people are crazy. And So Brittany Snow's character finds the old lady after the old lady comes into the house. She has this obsession with Mia Goth, and we find out why later. But she comes and lays in bed with Mia Goth while she's asleep and strips down naked and kind of touches her inappropriately. Mia Goth screams, the lady takes off, Brittany Snow sees the lady take off, and then still goes out and finds her and wants to help her. Why? I don't know. But she's standing on the edge of the fucking thing while arguing with the woman, and you know exactly what's gonna happen. She's gonna get pushed in and the gator's gonna fucking get her. Like, why she wouldn't just walk around the old lady, I don't know. She says, move, bitch, get out of my way, but she totally could have walked around her. Instead, you see that coming from a mile away, and it's a pretty shitty kill. Like you don't see a whole lot, because it's nighttime, and she gets killed underwater. The gator bites her head, but it's, again, a kill you see coming from a mile away. And then while the old man and the black guy are out looking for her, the black guy, you know, keeps bragging about how he's been in the Marines and blah fucking blah. Yet this old man says, yeah, I see you out here prancing around I see what's going on here. You're out here prancing around naked, trying to intrigue my wife. He's been in the Marine, yet this guy with the gun, who is now starting to get aggressive, doesn't set off the red flag that he's about to shoot you, and then the old man shoots him. And that's that. You saw that kill coming from a mile away. And you gotta suspend a little bit of belief that the guy actually was in the Marines and didn't see that coming. And this is another problem I have with the film. Is the old man claims that his heart is bad, right? And these are two really old, feeble, fucking flick them, you'll break their bones people. And he's firing a shotgun. Okay. The adrenaline from firing that shotgun would make if your blood pressure in your heart's really that bad, would make you give out. Not to mention the shotgun would knock you down. Yes, I realize the old man is heavier than the woman, but it would still knock you over if you're that feeble and old. So, shoots the black guy. Now we got Jenna Ortega and Mia Goth left. And they go in looking for Mia Goth and have a conversation. The older couple has a conversation about, like, the woman is, do you still think I'm special? Please tell me that you want me. And, like, then they have sex. The older couple has sex. And basically it's revealed that their motive for killing these people is just that they're young. And I'm sorry, I think that is a shit motive. That instantly, like, I had a lot of empathy for the elderly couple up until I realized that that was their motive. That they're literally just killing them because they're young. Fornicators. You know, like, that's the most selfish shit I've ever heard. I just don't like them because they're young. That's their motive. So I thought that was stupid, that the motive for killing is just because they're young. I didn't like that. Anyways, then the older couple has sex. Somehow, I don't know how the dude got it up, but whatever. They have sex. Mia Goth gets out, goes and gets Jenna Ortega out of the cellar, and Jenna Ortega is like, fuck you, bitch, I hate you, blah, 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 screaming, obviously letting them know where they are. So what happens? She runs out the building, gets shot. And I love the way that she blows backwards. Anyway, so she gets shot again with the shotgun. So now that's two characters that were just quick shotgun shots. One was a quick impalement in the face, and then one was an underwater death. So, like, all the deaths except the first one really weren't that great, you know, and you saw coming from a mile away. And now I don't like the motive or the older people or feel as sympathetic for them as I did. And as this is going on, a tape of a preacher is playing that we have seen continuously throughout the film. And So, Jenna Ortega's character is now dead, and Mia Goth is hiding behind the corner, and they're talking about dragging the body and shit and whatever. So apparently they've been at this for a long time because they just... I forgot to mention, the black guy discovers a car in the pond while he's looking for the older lady. So, and in the cellar, there's a dead body that isn't from the original group. So, like, these guys have been murderers for a minute. And, so, yeah, they drag the body in the house, and I guess Jenna Ortega's character, I don't know why, but she just randomly moves. I don't know if she was still alive or if it was just an involuntary, like, body reaction. I don't know, but she suddenly moves, and then that startles the old man, and he has a heart attack and dies. I'm sorry, but you can't tell me that was enough to kill the old man, but he's out here shooting people with shotguns, and that the adrenaline alone didn't kill him. He has shot the shotgun 2 times now. The adrenaline from killing somebody would have made his heart give out. The shotgun would have knocked him over and made his heart give out. But this simple startlement makes his heart give out. That's awfully convenient. So now, while the older lady, Pearl, is crying over the dead body of her husband, that's when Mia Goth comes out with her gun and points it and is like, tell me where the fucking keys to your truck are. And, fires the gun. It's a blank. The older lady picks up the shotgun, goes to shoot her. Mia Goth ducks, and the shotgun blows the old woman back like 20 yards. It's fucking hilarious. That's what would have happened to the husband. You don't get to say that it happened to the woman, but not the husband. Yes, the husband is double her size, but it's still a powerful enough gun at his age that it would have knocked him over. So, to say that there's just a lot of fucking writing loopholes, easy conveniences in the end of the movie. Okay, the old man's heart is apparently so bad that it gave out from being startled, but he's able to fucking handle a shotgun, not fall over, and kill people and deal with that adrenaline. And then that same shotgun blows back the woman 20 feet. And then that breaks her hip. And then Mia Goth gets the keys to the truck, and then you see this coming from a mile away, that her head is perfectly lined up with the truck. So you know when Mia Goth gets in the truck, she's gonna backwards over her head. And that's what she does. And then at the same time, it's revealed on TV that the preacher that in the video that we've seen multiple times throughout the movie, he reveals that the daughter is actually Mia Goth. And that she is... his own daughter has been taken from him from these deviants and blah fucking blah, and the older lady knows who Mia Goth is, and she's saying that as she's laying on the ground. Like, I know who you are, bitch. You're not special. Like, it's gonna be taken from you the same way it was taken from me. And then she runs her head over, and we do get a badass, like, crushed skull scene, and then she runs it back over, and that's the end. And I wanted, up until the first kill, like I said, I think the movie was perfect. Up until the first kill. That first, everything about it. Feeling sympathy for the elderly people, the statements they were trying to make, the cinematography, the writing, the dialogue, the brutality of that first kill. The music, everything was perfect. It was shaping up to be perfect to me. If they would have fleshed out the kills a little bit better instead of making them so predictable and not really, like, shooting somebody with a shotgun real quick is pretty fucking lame. That's a lame kill, and we got 2 of those. We got to see the aftermath of one of them, but then another one was just stabbing a guy through the eye. You saw that coming from a mile away. And, like, So the rest of the kills, I feel like if they would have spent more time better fleshing out the kills, I would have liked this more. But a lot of people keep saying that Mia Goth is the villain of the movie, and I don't understand why people are saying that, because she just killed an elderly lady that killed all of her friends. I would probably do the same in her position, unless they're trying to imply that she actually was the one that did all the killing. But I don't think that's the case. They never hinted or made that clear at all. Like, I don't think this was a case of Mia Goth actually killed everybody and the elderly people were innocent. Like, the elderly people definitely were killing people because there were other people there that were killed before this group. So the elderly people definitely were murderers. Mia Goth just murdered the last one. I don't see how that makes her a villain. Like, I still gotta watch Pearl and watch Maxine, which I plan on watching Pearl tomorrow. But again, like, I'm confused if that's, like, people keep calling her the villain, and I'm confused if that's what they're trying to say, is that Mia Goth actually killed everybody, but there's no way. I've thought about it multiple times. There's no way that that makes any sense at all. The elderly couple definitely was a real murderous couple, so how is she a villain for just killing them? And, like, it hints that there's things about her that we don't know, that maybe she's killed before or something, but I don't know. I don't know why she's looked at as the villain of the film. She's really not. She killed someone that killed her group. Anyway, this movie had a lot more potential than what it actually delivered on. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. That, up until the first kill scene, I was with it. I was loving it. That scene had a good emotional impact, especially the guy literally just had to deal with getting cucked and then got murdered so vividly. It was such a vivid, like, it's a very brutal death. Like, yeah, I loved it. Simple knife to the fucking neck, but just shows it multiple times until his head comes off. It was a very brutal kill. And I wish they went that graphic with the rest of them. It seems like they blew their wad on that kill, and then all the rest of them had to be quick, and then blew their wad on the skull being ran over. So, I mean, there's definitely some grotesque visuals in here. It's gory. It's good. It's well written. It's well made. And I like the commentary. I like the reveal of Mia Goth being the daughter of that preacher and whatnot, and she just wants to be a fucking star no matter what. Keeps calling herself a sex symbol and is battling with the fact that she's been told that that's wrong and whatnot. But, like, at the same time, I think the film is trying to say that there's nothing wrong with porn, that it's just religious folk. I disagree. I think porn negatively impacts society. It dehumanizes women. Look at OnlyFans, man. Look at how the growth of OnlyFans, the growth of artists like Cardi B, the growth of porn, look at what that's doing to women and what that's doing to men's psyche of women. Porn producers, these billionaire porn producers, big porn companies, you are directly responsible for why sexism and depravity and sexual assaults. I blame porn for a lot of that. And OnlyFans is just making it worse. So I kind of disagree with the movie's stance on porn. Because it really is. It's, if anything, it's making society worse. It makes women... OnlyFans is doing what? You're literally valuing yourself based off how many dudes buy your nudes. How is that good? Even if you happen to be the 1% that ends up being rich and your mindset is, oh yeah, I'm so fuckable that people paid millions to see my pussy, that makes me more valuable. Does it? Because I don't really think it does. You have something that every other woman has. And if that's your measurement as a woman, then how can you expect to not be treated like sexually? And porn is, you know, it's always going to be around, so it doesn't matter what I say. But with the growth of OnlyFans and the growth of Andrew Tate clones, yeah, I think porn affects society in a negative way. It keeps that idea that a woman is just an object to fuck alive. OnlyFans does the same thing, and then these motherfuckers go and produce like 10 stupid children. So like, it's literally worse. Porn literally makes society worse. But whatever, man, whatever. I can't wait for some single OnlyFans mom to disagree with me and tell me why it's so good. Like, speaking of that, I keep seeing these shorts of women that literally are just like showing pictures of their ass because you know that's why they're going to click on it. And then they sit there and they talk while showing their ass. There's this one, I don't remember the name, but she literally just does yoga poses in front of a mirror. Keeps bending over in front of a mirror while doing a voiceover. So you know she knows what she's doing. She's getting guys to click because they see a butt. But then her commentary is, yeah, well, I used to be a nurse and I used to be this, and it's interesting because sex workers are actually really caring people, and I'm actually a really good person. Us sex workers, it seems to be a common trait that we're caring human beings and used to be nurses and work in education, and I'm actually a really good person, and us sex workers, we're actually more caring and better than everybody else, is basically what the bitch is saying. While if you were actually saying that to a camera would be one thing, but while you're saying it knowing that people are tuning you out because they're looking at your butthole, that kind of says the opposite, doesn't it? It sounds like cope to me. Just because you were a fucking nurse turned OnlyFans model does not mean you care about people. Don't believe me? Go to Reddit. Look at what nurses say about their patients. Nurses, I have been treated so shitty by nurses. Not to mention, I'm going to say something really controversial here. Becoming an RN is something that a lot of C-average students do because it takes 2 years of school and it's the easiest thing to become. They don't become it because they care about fucking people. They become it because it's the easiest path to go down. That's why you have just so many shitty, selfish nurses. No, just because you were a nurse does not mean you were a caring person. Anyway, getting that fucking rant out of the way, porn as a whole is negatively impacting society and women as a whole. So, there you go. But that's just a conversation for another day. As far as the movie goes, I give it a 7 out of 10. My problems with it are being able to see the kills from a mile away, not fleshing them out and making them good and graphic like the first one. The motive behind the old people just being that they're young, I think is stupid. The dude dying of a fucking heart attack because he got startled, but he's out here shooting shotguns and has adrenaline, like a lot of conveniences at the end, which made me like it a lot less than I wanted to. But as far as movies go, it was a good movie. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad one. I would much rather pop this in than a fucking Blumhouse film. It was better than Terrifier. Yeah, 7 out of 10. That's my rating. I'm gonna go watch Pearl and I'll be back.